In this video, we're going to discuss the mean and the standard deviation of data. Let's start with the mean. The mean is another way of saying the average. So let's say we have test scores. Let's say somebody took tests, they got a 69, a 72, an 81, and a 97. They got these 4 scores in their test. If they want to find the mean, or the average, what you would do is you would add up the 4 scores, 69 plus 72 plus 81 plus 97. You would divide it by the number of tests that they took, the number of data points that we have, which in this case is 4, and we would solve this. Let's do it. 69 plus 72 plus 81 plus 97 is 319 over 4. Let's do that. 319 divided by 4 is 79.75. So the average score, the mean score for this person would be almost an 80. If, let's say, you had a lot of different numbers, let's say you had a set of numbers that was 1, 7, 14, 25, 96, 102, 54, 17, 101. Let's say you had all of these data points and you wanted to find the mean. Either you could add up all of these and divide by the number of values that we have. You would add up all of these 9 numbers, then divide it by 9, and then you would get your average. But let's say you didn't want to do that. There's an easier way to do it. You could do it on your calculator. If you press the Stat button, and now you're going to press Enter by 1 for edit. And if you have something in these lists, you have to clear them out first. I have something here, so I'm going to clear it out. So you press the up arrow till you're over L2 represents list 2. This is the second list. Press clear, and then go down, and then it'll clear out that list. Go over to L1, the first list. Go up, so you highlight the L1, press clear, and down arrow, and then your list is clear. So now there's nothing in the list, and we're going to input this data into the list. Once you have all of these 9 values in, you're going to press Stat again, right arrow to Calc, and enter over 1 bar stats, 1 variable statistics. Press Enter. Our list, we entered all of our data into L1. Let's say instead you had put your stuff in L5. Doesn't matter, then you would have to switch this by pressing the second button and then clicking on the button that has the correct list. But I already have L1 in by list, and I put the data into L1, so that's correct. We do not have a frequency list. We'll discuss that next. So we're going to scroll down to Calculate and press Enter. The calculator calculates for us a bunch of different things. In this video, we're just going to look at what the mean is and the standard deviation, but we're going to start with the mean. The mean is what we call X bar. It's an X with a bar on it. It's the first thing that the calculator gave us. It tells us that the mean of this data is 46.3 repeating. Let's say you had data, let's say you had 1 and you had a 1 in your data set 4 times. Let's say you had 6 and you had 6 in your data set 6 times. Let's say you had 2 and you had that 3 times, and you had 8 and you had that 4 times. So either you could, let's say you wanted to do this on your calculator, not by hand. You wanted to go into Stat. You're going to do Edit, clear out what we had from before. So go up, highlight the L1, press clear, and then go back down. Now it's clear. Let's say, so if you wanted to add in our new set of data, the one that I drew in the table, you could either do 1, 1, 1, 1, 6, 6, 6, 6, 6, 6, 2, 2, 2, 8, 8, 8, 8. Or else you could do everything that I put in the first column, all the numbers, 1, 6, 2, and 8. You could put all of that into L1. Then you could go right arrow to L2, and in L2, you could put in the frequency. This is called the frequency, how many times each of these numbers come up. So number 1 comes up 4 times. That's the frequency for 1. Frequency for 6 is 6, because the number 6 comes up 6 times. The frequency for 2 is 3, because the number 2 comes up 3 times. And the frequency for 8 is 4, because the number 8 comes up 4 times. And now we're going to press Stat, Calc, 1 bar stats, So our number list is still in L1, but we now have a frequency list. The frequency list means that everything in this list, everything in L2, is a frequency for the number that's in L1. So we're going to press second 2, because when we press the second button, we're really activating the little blue words above each button. When we press the 2, we're typing in L2. Then we're going to scroll down to calculate and press enter. And the calculator calculates the mean for us, and they tell us that the mean, x bar, is let's round it off, 4.6. That would be the mean of this data. The standard deviation we'll discuss next. The standard deviation is represented by the symbol sigma, the Greek letter sigma. Looks something like that. And that measures how far the data is from the mean. So for example, we could have a set of data that is -10, -9, -8, and -7. And we could find the mean for this. And since the numbers are all very close together, the furthest number from the mean is still going to be pretty close to the mean. But let's say we have a set of data -1,000, -900, 900, and 1,000. The mean is going to be 0, but even the closest number to the mean is still going to be a few hundred places away. So the standard deviation measures how far the data is from the mean. To find the standard deviation, we're going to do the same thing as we did for the mean. And we already have on the screen the one var stats, one variable statistics for this chart over here. And when you calculated one var stats, it also calculates for you the standard deviation by sigma x. That is the standard deviation. The standard deviation for this data is 2.8, about. The larger the standard deviation, the further the data is away from the mean. The smaller the standard deviation, the closer the data is to the mean. On the Regent, you might also be given a question that asks you a specific question relating to means. Let's say we have a question that tells us that somebody took some tests. Let's say Sam took 4 tests this semester, and on his tests he got 92, 93, 71, and 85. And he's going to take one more test this semester, and he wants that his average score should be a 90. We need to know, what is he going to get on his 5th test? What does he need to get on his 5th test in order that his average score should be a 90? So he has 4 tests so far, the 92, the 93, the 71, and the 85, and then he has some test X. We don't know what he got on this test yet. That's the score for his 5th test. So we can set up an equation to solve for what he needs to get on this test. So what does he need to get? 92 plus 93 plus 71 plus 85 plus X over 5. That's the average of all of his scores. He wants the average to be equal to 90. And if we solve this for X, we'll be able to see what is this 5th score. So to solve it for X, let's first combine the 92, the 93, the 71, the 85. 92 plus 93 plus 71 plus 85, 341. 341 plus X over 5 is 90. Now we're going to solve for X. Multiply both sides by 5 to clear out the denominator. 341 plus X is equal to 90 times 5 is 450. Minus 341 minus 341. X is equal to 450 minus 341, which is 109. So he would need to have a lot of extra credit in order to be able to get his average to be a 90. He would have to get a 109 on his next test in order that the average of all of his test scores should be 90.